to Home Built Workshop. Oh, I forgot something. I forgot my little microphone. Sorry about that. At least it was sitting right there. We'll just put this little guy, we'll just put him on right there. There we go. What is happening? How's everybody doing this morning? I'm trying to get a preview up on my phone here so I can see if things are working here, and I don't know why it's not working. It says the event will begin. Am I behind the game here or something? Maybe so. Maybe so. Did I mess something up? Oh, I think maybe that's more like it. Let's just see here. Let's see. Oh, it's starting. Ooh, there's quite a delay there. Ah! Hold on. I gotta turn that down. We don't want sound. Boy, that newbies, I'm telling you. Okay, there we go. Now we're set. What's going on? How's everybody doing? Sorry, we're getting there. We're working through some bugs still on this. Not as bad. Each time gets a little bit better and a little bit better. Boy, the color on my preview thing looks weird. So anyway, what's going on? We're working through this stuff, and I'm having fun. I like it. It's a little bit frustrating working through some of these issues. This morning, the issue this morning was not a big one, but when I plug in the camera, it's supposed to pop up like you plugged in a webcam. There's a little piece of software that's supposed to turn it into basically a USB webcam, and that software wasn't running. It wasn't working. So when I plugged it in, I had nothing. And yeah, I ended up having to go into the computer settings and found out that this little piece of software was not set to run at startup. So no matter how many times I restarted the computer, it never ran. So I changed that setting, boom, restarted, plugged it in, and voila. We're good to go. Corey, Robert's here. Corey's here. Robert says, howdy everyone. Good morning, Robert. How are you this morning? Corey says your coffee cup's a little crooked. Yeah, I got to play with that, with the settings still. I haven't messed with it. I haven't messed with it yet. We're still on a little bit of the fisheye look, and that makes things look a little crooked. Maybe I should set it over here. Does that look better? I can't tell. Yeah, it does, I think. Yeah, on the outer reaches of the camera lens are areas where I need to try to get used to steering clear from. So anyway, what's going on? What are you all up to this fine morning? Happy Wednesday. Hopefully everybody's doing good as we kind of get settled in. I got through a couple of little snags this morning, like I was just saying, with the stream and all that. And now I got a preview up here. I got my phone playing on a completely separate network. That way it's not stealing resources from this computer. Actually not on a network, but it's on the regular cell stuff, the cell signal. That way I can make sure the stream is still alive. And I got the preview, and we got a whole deal here. But we're getting there. Robert said, I saw the notice about the stream pop up last night and clicked the notify me last night. Yes, that is something that I am going to start doing very regularly. I always have the intent to set the stream up ahead of time. Sometimes I forget, or sometimes I just don't quite get to it. But I'm trying to be way more diligent in my actions. I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I want to make sure to get the stream set up at least the day before, and that way people can, or probably I should do it right now, like right as soon as we're done. It's probably what I ought to do for the following week. That way a lot of people have plenty of time to maybe see the notification, click the notify me button, and hopefully get notified when we do the live. So I'm going to be way more intentional on that, and just try to promote these a little bit more. So we talked about that a little bit last week. But that's one thing that I'm going to start doing. And what about the thumbnail? Did you see the thumbnail for it? I thought that was kind of neat. I don't know. You guys let me know if it's kind of silly or you want something different. I don't know. I'm working on it. Let's see. Time Surfing. What's going on? Time Surfing says, good morning, everyone. Good morning, Time Surfing. How are you doing this fine Wednesday? Right on. And Terry's here. Terry says, hello, Jeff. Terry, good morning to you. How are you doing this morning? Right on. And Harry Dude says, morning, afternoon, evening, everyone. Right on, Harry Dude. Cheers, everybody. Right on. Terry says, I got the pop-up yesterday also. Yes. Nice. Yes, I got to keep doing that. Keep doing that ahead of time. Terry says, hello, all. Right on. So it worked. That was my plan. My plan, get the notifications out there as early as I can. I wonder if there's a too early. Like if I schedule next week's right as soon as we're done, I might try that. What's everybody up to? What's on your workbench this morning? I'm sure you can see from the video here that you know what's on my workbench, and we'll get to that here shortly. Let me know. Let me know what you're working on. And just going to throw it out there. You guys know this already, but it's always an open conversation here. It's kind of a on-the-spot Q&A session every time. If you got questions on a project, questions on a project of mine, something that you're working on, any sort of question whatsoever, throw it out there, and I'll do my best to answer. Let's see, Sam's here. Sam, good morning. What's going on? Sam says, hello, everyone. Double moderating and watching this stream. Good grief, you're busy this morning. So, right on. Well, welcome, Sam. How are you doing this fine morning? Fine Wednesday afternoon for you. There's Tony. Tony's here too. Man, right on. Everybody's here. That's awesome. Tony says, morning, sunshine. Tony, good morning to you. How are you this morning? That's awesome. Hope your day's going great. Right on. Oh, I thought something cut out up there on the stream, but it was one of those ads. I don't know. The screen changed. So I want you guys to tell me. I'm looking at the preview. I've got the preview, or not even the preview. I've got the actual stream playing here on my phone. So it's streaming it from the web. It's not like a preview from the camera or from the software here. And it's still, the red looks a little bit oversaturated to me. Are you guys seeing the same thing? If you are, let me know, because I think I can still fix that. Where is that? It's right here. So I can change that. I think I might drop that down a little bit. We're going to go back to 0 there. And let's see if that helped a little bit. Still working to fine-tune a few things. I'm going to leave that be for now, and I'll come back to the replay afterwards too. But I am curious to hear all of your thoughts as well. But I'm trying to look at it, trying to pay attention here. But let's see. Sam says, I'm good. Thank you, good sir. Yourself? Sam, I am doing great. Thank you for asking. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're doing good. The last 4 or 5 days here, the weather has been absolutely amazing. I think we hit like 65 degrees, that's incredible, considering not that long ago we were at 0 degrees. Now, it's short-lived because today it's already colder, and but just getting a couple of days, it was good, but kind of bad because it was like a teaser for springtime. It was awesome. I had to do some work on my vehicle outside. I was putting brakes on it, and I was out there in a t-shirt, no beanie. It was amazing, but I know it's only February, and it's not going to last. But it was awesome. It's really nice. I love those warm days you get. Just as kind of like I said, a teaser, really, for the warmer weather to come. But it's just been really nice. I even opened up the doors and stuff in the house, and just nice to have the air going through, and it was super cool. Super warm, actually, but it was super nice. I liked it. Let's just put it that way. Robert says, thankfully I had most everything I needed food-wise last week since the roads were slick, so I didn't do any shopping till yesterday afternoon. Yeah, you guys had some weather, huh? Yep. I'm glad you had everything you needed. That's always a good thing, and something that I always try to do as well. If we got some sort of weather thing coming up, and I always try to make sure that we have You know, this is the stuff you need on hand. I don't like to go out the day of or the day before like a lot of people do. I like to just be prepared ahead of time. So I'm glad you had everything you needed and got through it and were able to get back out. Robert says color looks pretty good on my end. Let's see. Right on. Time Surfing says the toolbox is red, could be putting a hue on you. Well, and that's what I was looking at in there. I was looking at the color in of the toolbox, and it looked like extra red. I don't know if it really is or not, but. Sam says, I'm getting the DeWalt thicknesser, double planer tomorrow. Ooh, man, new tool day for Sam. That's awesome. That is awesome. I got to look that up. I got to see. So does it really have blades on the top and the bottom? So it does both at the same time? I've got to look that up. You mentioned that last time, and I got to check into that a little bit more because it just sounds cool. Time Servant says, aren't you a redhead? Now well, it's kind of funny. This grows in red for whatever reason. But as a kid, my hair was like blonde as blonde can be. And then it got darker, you know, kind of a dirty blonde. And now it's almost, I don't know what you'd call it. It's like a super, super dark blonde, almost brown, where there's still hair. But this comes in red. I don't know why. It's really weird. So I don't really know. I would say I have blonde hair, or had blonde hair. I don't know what you call it now. Donna's here. You caught me. Almost took a drink. Donna says, hey, coffee up. Right on. There you go. Donna says it's because you're Irish. Redbeard. Most of I've done the DNA things. And most of mine, I don't remember there being Irish specifically. Well, I think there was. I forget what they call it in the thing, but it's like a whole area. That whole, England and all of that. I forget what the name of it was, but I think it did include Ireland, actually. I could be wrong. I have to double check. I don't remember. But yeah, it was a lot of England area, and a little bit of Scandinavia is where I came from, and northern Europe, like, Germany, and a little bit of Germany in that area. I don't know. Sam, apparently a lot of my roots come from your area. Time Servant says gone is what you call it now. Yeah, you're right. I don't pay a whole lot of attention. It starts to grow out, and I take the clippers, and it's out of here. I wish it would just, I'd be fine if it just all fell out and I didn't have to worry about it. I don't like having to get haircuts and shave and all that sort of thing. This I don't mind, but anyway, moving on. Again, what's everybody working on? You can see here that, well, can you see? Well, yeah, you can sort of see right here what we got going on. We got the base. It's on the bench. It is in one piece. I was hoping to have the strings on it for this live. I wanted to put them on before we went live, but due to a couple little technical difficulties here, I ended up spending time troubleshooting here instead of working on this. It's okay. Let me show you where we're at, because this thing I'm planning to finish today. I got to be careful not to lose these little tiny screws. These little tiny things that go in and hold the tuners in place. Let me grab this. I'm actually, now that it's together, I'm really happy with this thing so far. So this is, if you remember, the new neck that I made. The color match, honestly, it is not as far off as I initially thought. I thought it was farther off than that. And when I sprayed this, it looked a little too orange to me. But now that it's together, I honestly don't think it's bad. Yes, it is a tiny bit different. But when I held the neck down right here, it's almost the same. So I'm totally cool with it. And I think it's going to work awesome. I got it all polished out. Remember, I polished this too, so that's got a nice shine on there, as well as, if I can get it on the neck, let's see. I don't know if I can. Maybe you can see it on there a little bit. got it polished up, got the fretboard oiled. I got the tuners on. They're not aligned yet. That's what I was hoping to get done. I just need to put a straight edge on the back, and most of you guys probably know that little trick, but let me show you real quick. Hopefully you can see okay, and it looks like you can. I can't quite see in this preview on the camera, but if you take a little straight edge like this, and you can lay it on the back of your tuners, you can use that to align everything to that straight edge. I can't see what I'm doing exactly, but you line those up, and when everything is in line, then you can tighten it down, and that's going to locate your tuners. And then once you snug them down, then you can pre-drill these little tiny holes, and then using some wax on those little teeny screws, carefully by hand run those screws in. And that's what I needed to do, or I was hoping to do before we went live. But again, technical difficulties said, nah, you don't need to do that yet. But so that's my next step. And then I've got a nut roughly fit. I'm going to have to do adjustments. It's going to be way too high, but slap this nut in here. Put some strings on it. I did pull off the, this has a thumb rest on there. And I was wondering initially if this was something somebody added, but it's not, because you can see on the pick guard here, there's a hole in the middle where your normal pick guard screw would go, and it's never been drilled. There's not a hole in the wood right there. So that's factory. And I believe I even saw that on some pictures when I looked this up. So, but I had to pull that off because I was doing the fretwork yesterday, getting those polished up and getting everything ready to go. And I'm really happy with it. It is like almost done. And I think I've decided that once this is done, I'm going to look at donating this to the school. I got to get a hold of the proper people over there, and they got like a band program over there, which is actually really good. And I'm going to see if they can use this. I think it'd be a cool little instrument for someone just starting out. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be the plan. But yeah, it's coming along good. I'm really happy with it, especially after seeing it together. You know, even though, like I said, this body's got some nicks and chips and dings in there, I think it looks pretty decent for what it is. But yeah, as soon as we're done here, I'm going to finish, or done with the live, I will finish getting that thing assembled and put together, and it'll be playing here before long. So that's going to be cool. Today, it'll be done. Oh, let's see. Robert says, I did get out this past weekend on Saturday. Oh, some sort of pop-up thingy. Get out of the way. On Saturday to take my sister some items I had ordered for her. She doesn't like... Oh, trying to online ordering. Gotcha. Yeah. That's awesome. Robert says, color match is not too bad. Maybe slightly more yellow, but pretty close. About as close as two different pieces of wood that are tinted at different times without a lot of effort. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Robert. It's not exact. And I think I mentioned when I sprayed the finish on there before I had it together that the color looked a little off to me, maybe a little orange. And it's not as far off as I thought, really, once it's all together. So really, I think the color's fine. Paul's here. Paul, what's going on? Paul says, sorry, I'm late again. Hello, everyone. Paul, no worries. It's all good. It's all good. Cheers. Glad you made it. How's your day going? And what's on your workbench? Time Servant says thumb rest. Yeah, it's a thumb rest. I just wasn't sure initially if that was something somebody added or if it was factory, and I believe that it is in fact factory. Sam says, is it possible to run the string through the lower body since the player only operates the neck area? Will that affect string vibrations too much? So you're talking about going right through the body? It's absolutely possible. Not on this particular instrument because it was not built for that. But yes, there are plenty of guitars where the strings, on this bridge it is not possible. But they make bridges, string through holes in here, and then you put the ferrules on the back. We'll have little, little metal things where you just drill holes through, and the strings go through. Absolutely, and it doesn't affect a thing. This one just doesn't have it. So I have quite a few guitars where the strings go through from the back. So I'm trying to be careful without, I don't want to slam this into something too bad. But yeah, not on this guitar, you can't, but sure, yeah, string throughs, that's a perfectly acceptable and very common thing. Some may even argue the fact that tone, that's all I'm saying. Time Surfing Alien says lots of people pay extra for nicks and dings. Call it relicking. That you make a very good point. It's a relict bass. Yeah, it's true. The neck's not relict though. I'd have to like bang it up a little bit. Let's see. Harry Dude says to Sam, a lot of guitars do have the strings coming through the back of the body and over the bridge. Yes. Yep, absolutely. I just like this. I like this kind of hardtail bridge. I don't know why. It's kind of a personal preference of mine. Let's see here. Robert says the problem. No problem. You're allowed to be late. No, I added that. But. Time Servant says it's factory. Yeah. Yep. Which is kind of cool. Paul says going to take my router table apart, mount the top to a shelf, and make it to where it folds out of the way when not in use. Free up more space. We'll be able to leave the router and the lift in it while stored. Ooh, yeah. I've been thinking about doing some router modifications at some point too. I think I mentioned it when I was doing the giant edge sander. I got some scraps of material left and a lot of that black laminate. And we talked about it on the live. That's what it was, about redoing my router table. Maybe laminating the top, make it a little slicker, and yeah, probably do a little better than what it is. It's kind of cobbled into my table saw. It's not ever designed for something like that, but that's the way I've been using it, and it's been working pretty good. So yeah, always space-saving modifications are always welcome. Sam says, okay, cool. Paul, working on how to do the legs so that they fold up also. I don't know what kind of space you have, but just make it so it folds down. Maybe like maybe a dowel or something, and then you run a thread like one of those adjustable feet in the bottom, so that maybe it can fold down, and if you need to adjust it, you got a little adjustment there. Originally, what I was going to say, something like a camera tripod leg. It's extendable, and it's got a little adjustable thing on the bottom. But yeah, you can just take a dowel and hinge it down with a little adjustable foot on the bottom, or something similar. It doesn't have to be a dowel, but like maybe a 2x2 piece of wood or something like that. I don't know. Just the first thing that came to mind. I don't know if that'd work for your application or not. Heritage says, if you're going to donate to the school, see if you can get some work repairing their instruments. I get a bit of work from local schools, repairs and restrings. I might. They don't have a huge band program. It's a smaller school that my daughter goes to, but I have several around, so I've been thinking about that too. Maybe I will keep an eye out for stuff like this. Broken headstocks, or just in general some sort of pretty cheap instrument that needs some work. And then I can spend some time, build a new neck or build whatever needs for it, and then donate it. And then yeah, like you said, might be able to get a little repair from there. But yeah, that's a good idea. So that's what I'm thinking. I think they could probably use stuff like that. And if not, I would imagine they would let me know. Donna says, sounds like the same. Which part, Donna? I'm losing my brain a little bit. Robert says, space saving or dual use is almost always helpful, especially in small shop. Yes. Yep. Totally agree. If it can't somehow store out of the way or be used for more than one thing, it's very hard to justify, especially in something as small as as this. I do have a lot of single-use things though, and that's where it gets hard, right? You end up with, you know, stuff that you have to store around somewhere, which ends up taking valuable space for other things. So it makes it tough. That's where, yeah, dual use or, you know, multiple use or convertible, you know, if something flips down or spins around or something like that, always makes things a little bit nicer to save room. Something else I discovered that I need to start on probably sooner rather than later, since I was working on this base here, you know, I had to do some, you know, well, with any project really, right? We're always sanding. There's always something to sand. But when I'm polishing this out, the neck, you know, I'll sand up through the grits, right? So I did end up having to do a little bit of wet sanding, you know, 1,000 grit. Sometimes, depending on what I'm doing, I'll go 1,500, 2,000, maybe 2,500. So really, when you think about that, I have sandpaper that starts from like 40 grit up to 2,500 grit in sheets as well as discs. You can probably see the discs. Can you see them? Yeah, they're right up there. I got to build some sort of sandpaper sheet storage rack, a little cabinet type thing, because it's a disaster right now. Trying to find the one I need. I have them in the packs, and some of them are in individual sheets because I buy them at the auto body supply place, and yeah, it was kind of tricky trying to find the right ones because they end up getting all scrambled together. So I decided I'm going to build some sort of a, you know, cabinet. Not even a cabinet. I don't know if cabinet's the right word, but it kind of is. Just a box with a ton of little shelves in there that I can put all of this stuff in. So that way I can start from like 40 grit, you know, and go all the way up, and definitely keep things separated, more organized, and overall I think that it's going to make a huge difference. So that's going to be that is an upcoming project, a little sneak peek. You get a sneak peek into what I'm going to be working on at some point in the not so distant future. Yeah, and that basically that one came out because of this. As I was working on sanding this guitar, or the neck, just trying to find the sandpaper I need. You know, if you go to the hardware store, it comes in a, you know, like a 9 by 12 or 9 by 11 or 10 by 9, whatever size those sheets are. So I just buy a pack of this grit and a pack of that grit, and then I'll order some online, and it'll come in a different pack, and then I'll go to the auto body place, and you get it in all different, you know, all different methods, and it just gets, it's out of control, is what I'm saying. So that's an upcoming project. Paul says, I have a 160 square foot shop, and I have cabinets built on one side with a spot large enough to accommodate it folded down with lift and the dust collection in place. Ooh, that'll be cool. Yeah, if you can just whoop, leave everything attached so that you whoop. That's a technical term. Whoop. You know, then you don't have to even disconnect, and that would be awesome. That would be super handy. Let's see. Sam says you can make compact furniture for RVs, boats, and such. That would be cool. They would be cool. There's a place here in town that does that. You know, they do like build outs or something of kind of I don't know if it's complete camper vans or what it is, but it's something like that where they build the cabinets customized to these different vans. But yeah, there's something like that would be cool. You could outfit the whole place in new cabinets. Harry Dude says, if you want to relic an instrument, give it to a school for 6 months. Yeah, see, the body's already started. The relic process is already going on. And, you know, like this, something like this, you know, I paid hardly anything for the original body and neck, I guess. But I got the fun of building another neck. Oh, you remember the other neck? I had 2 of these necks. The other one is on its way to its new home. Should get there. It should be there later this week. Fingers crossed that it doesn't get busted up in shipping. It's packed pretty well, so I think it'll be fine. But that's cool. I'm anxious for that to get there. But anyway, yeah, something like this. I don't have a lot of money necessarily invested into the initial purchase. Of course, you know, way more in the neck, and a way better neck than what it initially was to begin with. But just a fun process. It's a fun project, and yeah, I'm hoping the school can use it because that'd be kind of neat. That'd be kind of fun. And we'll finish the relic job too. Time Servant says, I wonder if they make sanding belts with multiple grits on the same belt so you can just raise or lower the table for different grit. It's an interesting thought. I bet you could probably get custom stuff made. Like for that edge sander that I built, I bet you could do like a 2-inch wide belt that was 108 inches, 2 by 108. You could probably have custom ones built, and I wouldn't be surprised if you couldn't, just put several of them on there. I may have to make some sort of spacer maybe that slides over the drive wheel, just so they can't like end up overlapping somehow. But I bet you could. You'd probably have to do a custom made belt, but I don't know if you could get one that's already made together. It would have to be custom anyway. Maybe you could have them cut into strips, and then that adhesive, that tape that they use to join the seams, you'd have to tape the whole thing together that way. So yeah, it probably could be done, but I believe it would be a 100% custom job. But it would be cool though. Yeah, that's a good idea. You just, I need to go to the next grit. Whoop, crank the table up, move to the next part of the belt. That would be cool. Robert says, Matthew Peach, YouTube channel has some nice space-saving designs for benches and shelves. May not work for you, Jeff, but some other people, those designs might work. Yeah, I've seen some of his stuff. I've seen his channel and watched some of his videos. It's been a little while, but yeah, I should go back there and revisit. And I love watching other people make stuff work in their shops, especially when they're a smaller space. A lot of the bigger channels, not all of them, but there's a lot of them that they've moved into these giant workshops, which would be incredible. And I would totally do that. Oh, hit the mic. Sorry. I would totally do that myself if I could, or I would want to anyway. But I'm not in a position to do that. So I like to watch some of the smaller shops, not smaller channels necessarily, but people that work in a smaller space or a tighter space, and see how they make things work. And have you guys seen that Adam Savage's channel? Like when he's in his shop, it's not a tiny shop, but he's got so much stuff packed in there, it almost feels like a tiny shop. I kind of like to watch how he does some of his stuff too, because there's just so many things he's got crammed in there. So yeah, I like to get inspiration from a lot of those different channels. I just love watching different methods that people use. Heritage says, I store my sandpaper sheets in a document file, the style that has a handle on the top that folds open, and the files. Oh. Yeah, I know what you mean. So do you store it this way? Vertical? Yeah, vertical. I think I know what you mean. And it's like one of those paper things, right? Is that what you're talking about? Like it kind of whoop, accordion out. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah. Huh. I gotta ponder that, because I like that idea. Paul says that type of belt would be quite expensive. Multiple grits. Yes, and it would be custom. Like I know there's a couple places out there you can order custom belts from, custom sizes, widths, and things. I don't know if they would tape them together, right? So I know for a fact that they would make you some 2-inch wide custom length belts. 100% they would do that. I don't know if they would tape them all together to make one 8-inch wide belt kind of deal. I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, if you wanted to pay for it, I'm sure they would. Sam says YouTube's doubling down on the adverts. Yeah, I've seen that lately too. Paul says I found some 300-pound metal hinges that I can mount the tabletop to and mount them to the cabinet opening. Right now my router table, when not in use, collects stuff on it. Isn't that the age-old struggle, Paul? Anytime there's a horizontal space, something's going to get piled on it. The thing for me is my drill press table. I feel like I am fairly diligent in not placing stuff right here on my main work table. Now, if I wasn't doing YouTube videos, that probably wouldn't be my main work table. This would. This is because I can face the camera, and I don't really have anywhere else to put the camera. I do once in a while place things here, but I've gotten fairly good at not piling this up. But my struggle is the drill press table, which is, again, it's not very big anyway, but there's stuff piled on it right now. There's like, let's say, a camera lens cap, some guitar nut blanks, a towel that I was using when I was polishing, and stuff just gets piled on there. That's my challenge area because it's a flat surface. The problem is, I mean, you need a table of some sort for your drill press. You can't just eliminate every single flat surface, but that's always that's the struggle, like to not pile things in a flat area, because it's convenient. You walk in with something and you're like, I guess I got to set this down for a second, and that's where it lives for the next week or whatever, however long it takes to get it cleaned up. That's the challenge. Paul says, need to make sure I only have it up when I need it, so I have to find space for new stuff instead of stacking it on. Yes, that's a good idea. So if you make it fold down, now you've eliminated that material drop-off space, or whatever you'd call it. Time Surfing says, I don't even have a table sander. It was just a thought. I like that thought. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. Sometimes, yeah. I don't know where I was going with that. But yeah, you don't have to have a table. I like ideas. I welcome all ideas. Time Surfing. Oh, he also says flat surfaces always catch clutter. Yes, it's the worst. It's the worst. Oh, you know what? You know what I think I can do? Let's try this. I think with this setup I got going on here, I think I should be able to move this around. Yeah. See, look. This is just like stuff. Parts, random thing. There's a random piece of sandpaper. Just, it doesn't need to be there, but it is. Yeah, see, this way we can move things around a little bit. It's kind of cool. Now I got to get back where I was, if we can. There we go, I think. Yeah, see, we can move and show other areas of the shop. Paul says drill press table, now that I built one, thickness sander, benchtop, etc. Yeah. Darn flat surfaces. Robert says, Todd from Sweet Tea Guitars did a video a week or so back where he suggests some using specific sandpaper. Oh, some specific use sandpaper? That was interesting. Yeah, I don't think I've seen that one. Yeah, I use all kinds of sandpaper. A bad habit that I have that I'm trying to get out of, and I think by having this sandpaper, a little sandpaper cabinet, I think will help. I have a habit of grabbing these sanding discs up here and using those for just, hand sanding tasks. I mean, look, different grits here. Well, what that does though is it uses these discs up faster. Then I got to reorder those. And the ones that I use, I can't find locally, so almost every single time I have to order them. I mean, I can get that style locally, but I use the Mirka brand. Not sponsored. I do try to use Mirka, and I can't find them locally, so I have to order them. So if when I use them all up by hand sanding, it makes me have to order sooner. So I think if I get everything else organized, and I have this little box, I don't know where it's going to go. I honestly have no idea, but I'll figure that out later. And I think by building a little holder of sorts for the sandpaper sheets, I think I'll be more inclined to just grab the sheet that I need and use it for hand sanding rather than using the sanding disc, because it's convenient for me to just reach up there and go, whoop, I need that. So if I can do that with regular sandpaper, I think that'll help. Lost my spot. Oh, Paul says, was going to build a new a new table, but since I already have this table plus dust collection, Fence came up with an idea to make it useful, but takes up less space. Yeah, that's like the goal, right? we try to redo things to make it more efficient, but also take up less space. Like you said, that's something that I'm always looking at, and that's I've been just this little computer area here that I'm sitting at right now is something that I've been working on the last couple of weeks as we've kind of been doing these lives a little bit different. Just trying to reconfigure and make things fit a little bit better. In fact, just this morning, I've made some wooden mounts, right? So I've got the laptop mount, the laptop stand, which was actually a YouTube video, but I also have something similar above it that the camera can fasten to, and which lets me swoop it around. And that was not, I needed to change the height. So like it's always adjusting. I'm always modifying, changing things, adjusting to make things a little bit better. But the same thing for other things around the shop. I'm always looking at, okay, if I move this tool over there, how can we reconfigure stuff to get more space? And that's always a struggle. I don't have a ton of options. So I'm always, like a lot of times, honestly, I will sit here and I'm just kind of looking and sort of envisioning, scanning around the shop, trying to think of different ways. I probably spend more time thinking about it than I need to, but yeah, it's like a constant goal, I guess. Sam says you could make your own hand tools to sell as merch. That sounds like a lot of work, but it would be cool. Like what? What kind of tools, Sam? What do you think? What are you envisioning right off the bat? Let's see. Harry Dude says, I'm worried about storage space at the moment. We're moving house and workshop sometime in the next couple of months. May lose workshop space. Yikes. Yeah, I don't know. Harry Dude, it's always a challenge, right? There's one thing that I would like to do sometime here in the future, I'd say near future, but I don't know if it's going to be near. I mean, I want to move as well. Maybe change shops or something. It's not anything we're planning at the moment, but it's always something on my mind, and I'm thinking, well, what would we do? Kind of like you're thinking. Would I lose space? Would we have more space? Ideally, it would be more, but you just never know. And I can imagine, especially if you think that you're going to be maybe potentially losing space already. At least, I don't know if I should say at least, but at least you have a little bit of time maybe, and you can kind of start pondering, maybe doing an inventory of what you have. And I mean, I hope you don't have to downsize, but maybe, I don't know. I know I do. I probably have excess things. Mostly for me, it's mostly wood and materials, which is kind of important to build stuff. You want to build something, you kind of need wood to build it from. And I've got some of that, and honestly, that's what's taken up a lot of my space. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tough one. I wish I had some sort of wise. I got nothing. I guess is what I'm saying. It's a challenge, Harry Dude. That's what I'm saying. There you go. See what happens when I try to get all like, not philosophical, but it doesn't work. Yeah, I'm with you, Harry Dude. You'll get it figured out. You'll get it. I hope you don't have to downsize, though. I'm rooting for you. Sam says, plane, chisels, screwdrivers, carry case with different size nut bolt size slots, for instance. I mean, it would be cool. It would be cool, Sam. One thing that comes to mind would be like those little finger planes that I made last year. That project was so fun. Really, I really enjoyed putting those together, and that would be something I could see putting more together. Doing some more of, for sure. That was just really cool. Maybe like a limited edition run of them or something. Yeah, I don't think I'd be making planes and chisels and stuff. I just don't have the blacksmithing equipment nor skills to do that sort of thing. Yeah, I don't know. It would be cool, and honestly, I would like to get those tools and skills, but then it comes down to space, like we're talking. Right now, I don't have anywhere to put, stuff like that. But I would like to. I'd like to have, a forge and, an anvil and the whole setup. I think it'd be fun. That is something that I would like to experiment with, just because it's not really something I've done. And you guys know me. If there's something I haven't done, that's probably on my list of things that, well, I want to try. And it is. Blacksmithing is one of them. Now, I have done it. It was in high school. I think we've talked about, the shop classes before. I took a metalworking class. I think it was in like 8th grade where we made, I think it was 8th grade. Might have been 9th, but somewhere around there. We made chisels, from some raw stock, and we had to heat it up. I forget what we used for a forge, but we had a forge, and we had to actually pound it out, and do all the things. I wish I still had that. I have no idea what ever happened to it, but that's about the only thing I've ever actually blacksmithed. We had to shape it, grind it, harden it, and then use it to, I think you had to cut a bolt off or something with it, and that was kind of like your final exam. Will it cut this bolt off without ruining the entire thing? And I passed, I remember, but. Yep, that is something that I want to add, though. A blacksmithing area. It would be cool. Alrighty, let's see. Yeah, so far I think I'm kind of liking this setup now. The way we have it at the moment. Another, before I start changing other things, we'll probably do a few more like this. I probably will experiment with the different microphone. That way I'm not tied to a wire. Not that it's a huge deal, but I think I will go to the wireless one. Plugs in the same way. And what other things? What would you guys like to see for the stream? I want to play around with some overlays. I believe, we can do some different things here, and just not sure what all. I've been diving a lot deeper into some of the different features here in OBS, and there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff you can do. So I gotta experiment a little more. So, but for those of you that watch other live streams, what are some things that maybe you have seen others do that you really enjoyed in that particular stream? Is there anything? I don't know. Like I said, I'm always looking for, things I can improve on, things we can add, things we can do differently, things to make it a little more enjoyable, whatever that is. I'm open to suggestions. Time Surfing says, I've seen several home-built forges made from just about everything. I have too, Time Surfing. Yes. And I actually have a whole bunch of fire bricks that I got a long time ago with an intent to do something like that. And I just haven't, because I don't know. I just haven't actually taken the time to do it. You can build the burners. They're pretty easy, really, from like pipe fittings and drilling certain holes and things. And it really doesn't look all that bad. It's just something I just haven't done it. Just haven't taken the time or the initiative or whatever to really try to build one. But yeah, there's a ton of ways. Sam says it would be cool to see a first aid box size toolbox filled with branded mini tools for off-grid craft people. That would be cool. A little, depending on the first aid box. I've seen some big first aid boxes, and I've got one in the car that's about that big. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. Yeah, but if you're totally off grid and you wanted to make something, what do you have? A little saw in there? A little plane of some sort? It'd probably be a bigger size box, like ammo can kind of thing or something like that. But yeah, that would be kind of cool. Harry Dude says, second camera down over the bench. That's a good idea. I did at one point. I had a mount that I made, not for the lives, but I think that would be cool for the lives. So then, yeah, you could just switch to it right over the bench. Maybe the GoPro. Maybe I mount this up there or something. Make a mount for it, and then yeah, so I could just pop over to that camera, and since I would be on the wireless, it wouldn't matter. And then we could say, hey, you could literally do live streams while you're setting up a guitar or something like that. It's a really good idea. We need another camera, another GoPro. Not a GoPro. I need another camera, not a GoPro. It will not be a GoPro. Even though, I mean, it's working pretty good right here, but it's plugged in, so the battery can't die, hopefully. I did test that. I left it running for like 3 hours before I did the very first live stream, set up like this, and it doesn't seem to die. So it charges and sends signal, which is good. But yeah, that would be cool. Throw a camera up there. I like that. I'm gonna have to see if we can pull that off. Maybe I can find a used camera somewhere. I gotta keep an eye out. Anybody got a used one? Let me know. Harry Dude says, I bought a forge from Vivor, good starter kit, cheaper than I could build it for. I think I've seen those. Yes, and that's the hard part, right? When you go to the steel yard, you need metal. Like these bricks, I think I got, I don't know what I have, 2 dozen of them or something like that. Probably plenty to build up a little rough frame. But just going to the steel yard, if I was going to get some angle to just weld up a frame, yeah, it would cost me more than like you said, to just order one from like Vivor or somebody. Because I've looked online at some used ones, like some actual forges, and even a worn out, one that needs to be relined and everything is a couple $100 most of the time. And then you got to spend the time and the money to get the liner kit and reline it, and maybe you got to repair some things. And I wouldn't be against a project like that at all. I think it would be kind of cool because you'd learn a little bit more about how to do all that stuff as well. But yeah, it's just the price. Like they're not inexpensive. So something like that, I think, could be a good option. Absolutely. Yep. Yeah, I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about the camera up above. That would be cool. You could literally hop online and live stream, or a repair or a, whatever you're working on. You could do that. It would be kind of cool. It'd also be a neat angle just to pop one up there and get a directly overhead shot for some of the YouTube videos. I think I need to do that. Mount something up there. Yeah, I like it. I like that idea. But anyway, yeah, the forge blacksmithing stuff is just something that I want to try. At some point we will. I'll find the right deal or something like that. Mainly right now, I know if I got a forge, it would be of a large enough size that it would have to live outside, and I just don't like when things have to live outside. Yes, it would probably be fine. It's a metal forge, but still, there's just something about, I don't like leaving things out in the elements. I don't know. I'm weird like that. I guess. Francisco's here. Francisco says, hey, Jeff. Francisco, good morning. How are you doing? Hope your day is going awesome. What's going on? Glad you could make it and tune in. Right on. That's cool. Also, guys, while you're here, if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. I appreciate that. Shows the YouTubes that this is like the coolest live to be in and hang out with and all that. Yeah, so hit that thumbs up button. Show your support for the channel. I appreciate it. Francisco says it's lunchtime here. Right on. What's for lunch today? I don't know what's for lunch today here. I'm not quite lunchtime yet, but yeah, right on. That's awesome. Hope you're having a great lunch. Okay. Let's see. We got 9. We got time. I keep trying to check the chat and check the screen that shows the actual stream just to make sure everything's still working. as I'm still getting used to kind of watching all this stuff. Francisco says a 1 hour difference. Oh, that's not too bad. So you're at 11 o'clock. Yeah, it's about lunchtime. A little bit of an earlier lunchtime, which I kind of like myself. A little earlier lunch. I like earlier lunch and a little bit earlier dinner. Not super early, but you know, yeah, nothing wrong with that. I hope you have an awesome lunch. Sam says maybe do outdoor work shopping in summer. Yes, that is something that I definitely try to do. I try to, when it makes sense, right? Like to just work outside. I love being outside, and being able to work on stuff outside is I really do enjoy that. Some stuff makes sense too. Some stuff doesn't. But yeah, when it makes sense, I absolutely try to work outside. I got a little kind of a workbench. You've seen me work at it before in some of the videos. A workbench off to the side where I'll kind of work on things. Sometimes I run into issues with wind and depending on the time of day, the sun kind of messes with video if I'm trying to do a video. But if there's no video going and it's just something I'm working on, 100% I'd be outside doing it. And yeah, it's super great. Take advantage of being outside, the fresh air and all of that. It's cool. Let's see. Francisco, 1 hour ahead. Yeah, it's your 1 hour ahead. So it's almost 10 o'clock here. So you would be coming up on 11 o'clock. Yep. Right on. Yeah, that's lunchtime. Somewhere 11 to 12, 11 to 11:30 lunchtime for me anyway. Time servant says 11 here. Yeah, lunchtime. Close enough anyway. Hope you all have a good lunch. That's what I'm saying. Alrighty, what else? What else do you guys have? Any projects? You guys have any projects in the works? Francisco says it's 1 o'clock. I'm wrong. Oh yeah. So you're 3 hours. You're 3 hours. Gotcha. Sam says 5 p.m. Right on. Hey, dude, it's 4 a.m. there? Are we that far off right now? Wow. I thought it was like 2 maybe for you by the time we're done here. 4 a.m. Wow, Harry dude. I didn't realize there was that big of a difference. It all depends on when we're on daylight savings time, I guess. Wow, that's crazy. Time Surfing says, have a great week, everyone. Got to walk the dogs. Time Surfing, get those dogs out and walk them around. We got to take them for a walk. Time Surfing says he's a time traveler. Robert says, a lot of time, it's nice to build your own things to help out your shop, but at the same time, if you can find something already built for the same price, it makes sense just to buy it. Yeah, it does. I would agree with that statement. It depends, I think. It depends on several things. One is, do you need something right now? Like for some sort of need, maybe you've got a deadline of some sort, or if you've got a need for something right now, yes, it probably makes sense to buy it within reason. Or maybe the cost is prohibitive, and so you don't mind spending the time to build the thing. That's where the edge sander comes into play. The one that some of the ones I was looking at were thousands, $1,500, $2,000 or more dollars, and by building one that essentially does the same. Ooh, something's cutting out. Oh no. Are we back? What's going on? Whoa. I don't know what that was all about. That was weird. Sorry about that. But anyway, what I was saying, Robert, I don't know what happened there. Why did it decide to cut out? I didn't move anything. At least I don't think I did, but maybe I did. Anyway, yeah, like in that case, it's fine that I, to take the time to build the thing because it saves me a lot of money. Yeah, there's always circumstances and situations that, that would either warrant building it versus just buying it. And I agree with either way, is because everyone's situation is different, right? And everyone's need versus, yeah, we all have our reasons, and it makes sense either way. Sam says America's time is based on GMT. UK is 0 GMT. This is where the time is set from. Yes, yeah. So you're at 0 GMT. We are, I think, we are -7, I believe, from GMT. So right now it's 10 o'clock, so it'll be 5. Yes, yeah. So we're -7 GMT. Sempakin's here. Rick is here. What's going on? Rick says, good morning. I'll need to go back and watch the replay. Here it says we're +10 without, +10 GMT. So it'd be 7. No, 7. No, 1, 5. Yeah, no. Well, without daylight savings. Gotcha. Okay. Sempakin says it's the Matrix. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why. All of a sudden the thing just cut out here. I'm not sure what the deal was with that. Anyway. Robert says, like the edge sander, you bought it, then modified it, made perfect sense for you to do that. Yeah, so, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like there's not really a right or wrong. Like I can't say you all should do this because that's not always the case. Like we all have different requirements, right? We all have different space, availability of space. We all have different budgets. We all have different time requirements, different needs. And there's never a one size fits all for stuff like that. And that's what makes it cool, right? That's what makes all of our shops and situations unique, is because we don't all have the same requirements. And that's I like that. Although if we did, we really wouldn't learn much from each other, I don't think, because if we all had the same requirements, it'll all be the same. But I love seeing different, everybody's different shops and use of space and all that stuff, and that's where I think we take inspiration from. So anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. I'm gonna try to wrap up this coffee here, and then I think it's probably about time to wrap this up as well. I got a bass guitar to get to. We got to get this thing done up. Got to get the tuners screwed back in place, lined up and screwed in with those teeny screws. I got to put the then we're going to string it up, and then I'll spend a little bit of time getting everything set up, which would be cool. Harry dude, if I had a camera right above so I could get some overhead shots, like maybe a time lapse of the whole the setup process, that sort of thing, that would be really cool. So anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, make sure if you haven't already, hit that thumbs up button. Sam says, thank you for the fantastic stream today, Jeff. Well, Sam, thank you for being part of this stream. I appreciate it. Robert says, some people just enjoy making something themselves, even if they could afford to buying it. I agree with that sentiment as well. I do. Yep. Heritage says, I like to make stuff when I can, but sometimes I just need the thing now so I can get another customer's job done. Yes. Yep. That's what I was saying. If you need it right now for a particular job or something, absolutely 100% order the thing, get it done, and move on. Yeah, that's what I mean. We all have, it's all different. There's never a one size fits all saying you should never buy this thing, always make it, and you should never make this thing, just buy it. There's never a circumstance where a statement like that really makes sense as far as I'm concerned, because we all have different needs. Even like some of the very specialized tools, I'm thinking guitars right now, because that's kind of what I'm focused on at the moment. Even some of the more specialized tools you could make, but it's just a matter of if you need it right now, especially, it's all different. There's never a one size fits all. Anyway, I'm with you, Harry dude. Totally with you. Robert says, everyone have a good rest of the week. Stay safe and stay healthy. Sam says, be safe, everyone. Harry dude says, cheers, folks. Stay well. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to this Wednesday live here at Home Built Workshop. Hope you stay on the lookout for this weekend's video, because at the moment the plan is for it to be this base. Part 3, wrapping this thing up. We'll get it all done, and that's the plan. So you guys, thank you. Stay safe, stay well, get on your shops, build some cool things. Sent Packin says, have a great day. Robert says, well, that's one reason I like watching the videos at Pask Makes channel. Yes, I agree with that. So thank you, everyone. I'm going to get out of here, get back to work. You guys have an awesome, awesome weekend. Awesome rest of your week. I hope it's a wonderful, hope the weather's nice wherever you are, and you can get out in your shops. You can make some cool things and do some cool stuff. So you guys have a good one. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I will see you next week right here at Home Built Workshop, Wednesday live. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next time. I appreciate all of you. So now I got to hit this end button. Later, guys. End.